That brings up something I want to know. Is there like you brought this up earlier, AK? Is there structure to the besties? Like, what's the structure going on? I mean, I was never told any structure.
Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, you're hella valid for that. Like, so what happened was initially, we talked about it, but we never fucking relayed that shit, which was fucking weird as hell to think of it. I actually didn't think of it until now. What happened was when we initially had our like mini group or whatever you want to call it, with me, Forehead, and More, and Ori, and all those people. The point that was brought up was that we were kind of gonna merge into this bigger group, right? And then on the other side, you have the rest of the crew. And I was hesitant to doing that because I think that a lot of people, it creates a lot of variables which can create a lot of issues, right? Anyways, TLDR, I was hesitant. I then changed my mind. I spoke to Ming and Ford about it. And I told him that I'm willing to do it, but we need to have some type of structure that makes sense, because Ming had said initially that he was gonna just lead the group and that's it. But then we landed on having like a kind of a split thing between me, Forehead, and me. That's what we landed in. But I feel
that's
like
what I've been. Right.
Yeah,
that's what I've been under the impression of anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, like when I say it, I realized that we probably should have had this conversation earlier. I'm not sure why we didn't.
Yo, watermelon papaya, thank you so much for the 21 months.
Yeah, the only problem with this kind of structure is that it's kind of difficult for me, Ming, and Forehead to meet up at the same time sometimes. So a lot of times it's just kind of me and Forehead talking about shit. Did you have a concern regarding that future? Or you just wanted to know?
Yeah, I just want to know. Is there like we never spoke about it? If there's like,
yeah, no, fair
people.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Rights, you know what I'm saying?
That should have been said a long time ago.
Genuinely had no clue.
Yeah, it's just, I guess like sometimes we just kind of fucking.
And that's when you brought when you talking about like, we need a whole restructure. I was like, well, I didn't even know there was a structure. To be honest.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I've been telling this to, I don't know who I said it to, but for me, when it comes to this crew, I look at this crew as a big tree, and that's our organization. My only goal is to make sure that our tree is fucking prospering and becoming a fucking great oak, you know what I'm saying? And in this tree, we have different... Huh?
I think you said that to me.
Yeah, I've said it to some people, and we have different branches of this tree. We have the grow up, we have the weed up, we have the Batcoin mining, all this shit. And all of this shit is a lot of work to tie together. I just try to have like kind of an oversight to make sure we're moving on all these branches to some extent. And then we have people that are kind of working harder on specific branches. So when I'm talking about structure, like I'm pushing and pulling every direction, trying to make sure that we're getting something to work. But if I'm in a position where I need to doubt what I'm saying because I don't know if people are agreeing or not, then that becomes a big problem for me. You know what I'm saying? Because then I might as well be quiet.
Listen, I don't think that's I don't think we've ever had a meeting where we agreed on something, and then right after the meeting we said, "Nah, fuck that." That's never happened.
Yeah.
The only thing
unless it's something, unless it's something I don't know about. Unless it's something I don't know about, like the, I guess the fucking Jade thing where she done the stuff anyway after agreeing on something. Unless I don't know about it, it's never happened when we had a meeting, we agreed on something, and then they just changed their minds like right afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make that clear then, that if that's something that starts happening, that I'm not gonna be able to kind of do this shit. Like I can't operate under those circumstances, and I'm sure you can see why. It's just that it's just I can't do that. I can't go around and second guess myself. But yeah, I'll take your word for it. And if that's how it be, I guess yeah. I mean, you and me, we need to talk to Ming for it.
Yeah. I don't know when he's gonna be around though.
Yeah, we'll see. But listen, Julian, at the end of the day, like I do see your point of view. I think a lot of these things makes me feel like I have to be the bad person, but people agree with the decisions I make when I am the bad quote-unquote person. But I think you're right. Like if we have more structure and we're clear about these things, then no one has to be the bad person, and it's clear for both parties, and one person doesn't have to be the victim either.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a bad person. Don't get me wrong. You know, you're really, like I said, I think your intentions are good. nothing you're doing on purpose is causing any of this shit. Just you know, need to be more clear on things like you said.
Yeah.